Hello everyone, welcome back to our magical life. Today we will be seeing part 3 of the workshop. The topic name is Entering the Unknown. And this is based on Dr. Joe Dispenza's online course, The Formula. The topics Dr. Joe Dispenza is explaining in this part of the journey are why people usually change, the past versus the future, our old self versus our new self, why change feels so hard, familiar feels right, biological death of the old self, the unknown, the creative void, installing new thoughts, mental rehearsal, teaching the body the emotion of the future, quantum model, cause and effect, meditation equal to becoming familiar with, deconstructing the old personality, reconstructing the new personality, clear intention plus elevated emotion, maintaining the new state. So, these are the areas we will be discussing in part 3. In this part, Dr. Joe Dispenza is explaining that most people wait for crisis or trauma or some illness or some loss before they begin to change. When they are in deep trouble, people feel disconnected from their usual identity. They lose interest in their routine behaviors and they begin observing themselves from a distance. This is important. They begin observing themselves from a distance. And this self-observation or awareness is the first step of change. In this part, it is not about learning more information. It is about becoming aware of who you have been so far and who you are choosing to become or who you want to become. Okay. So most of the people wait for life to push them to change their unwanted old patterns, very much through their pain, loss, or crisis. But today, in this part of the workshop, we are learning how to change consciously without suffering. So, Dr. Joe is asking us why we need to wait for the suffering to force us awareness. Instead of that, why can't we choose to change consciously, guided by a vision of our future, not because of the pain from the past? So, this part of the workshop is about something Dr. Joe calls as entering the unknown. And the unknown doesn't mean that something scary. It simply means something not familiar to you. Let us understand the term known and unknown mentioned in this part of the workshop. Okay. So the known means it is your past, your habitual thoughts, your automatic emotional reactions to any situations, your familiar behavior. These are the known for you, isn't it? And the unknown and the known feels comfortable to us, isn't it? Because not because it is right, but because it is familiar to us. That's why it feels comfortable to us. The known. The known means it is your past, it is your habitual thoughts, it is your automatic emotional reactions to any situations, it is your familiar behavior. So, the unknown is your future self, which you have never experienced before. So, it doesn't have any memory, isn't it? And no emotional history also. And the main difficulty is that most people try to create a new future while staying emotionally and mentally on their past. And that will never work. So, he's also talking about the past versus the future. Most people believe in their past more than their future. They romance the past, means they are repeating their old stories again and again. We used to do like that, isn't it? They are defining themselves by their past experiences. Your attachment towards the past experiences prevents creation of a new future. So, true transformation requires letting go of the past identity and falling in love with the new future. This is what he's explaining. So, change or transformation means moving from one state of mind and body, means your old self, to another state of mind and body, which means your new self. Here, the old self means your familiar thoughts, behaviors, and emotions. And the new self means the unknown, the unexperienced identity which you want to achieve in your manifestation or your goal. He's also telling that between these two, that is the old self and the new self, there is a portion. He called it as the river. Between them is the river, which represents the uncertainty, which represents the discomfort. We will feel discomfort when we are doing new things in life, isn't it? So, the space between this old self and the new self, is telling it as a river which represents the uncertainty, which represents the discomfort. So the hardest part of the change or the transformation is that not making the same choice as yesterday. So most of our, we already seen that 95% of our behaviors or thoughts are same as that of the yesterday. So if you wanted to make a change or transformation in your life, the hardest part is that not making the same choice as yesterday. Now, let us understand that why change feels so hard. Dr. Joe Dispenza is telling that discomfort is a sign of change or transformation. We will feel definitely discomfort because we are going to do some new things, right? The moment you decide to change your life for the better, you feel uncomfortable. Things feel unfamiliar. You can't predict the next moment because it's a new experience. That's why this discomfort occurs because your body has memorized your past emotions. So much memory is stored in your body as emotions. It is addicted to that familiar emotions like stress, worry, control, guilt, fear, even if they don't feel good. It's familiar. And hence, the body prefers familiarity over growth. Familiarity does not mean that it is correct. Okay. So it means that it is known to you. That's all. So when you choose differently, when you do something to change the existing patterns, your body will send signals like this feels something wrong. Go back or start tomorrow. It will send signals like this because it is not familiar. That's why. What is familiar is that your past identity. So you will feel uncomfortable, and that is natural in the transformation journey, isn't it? In such case, please understand that same thoughts will lead to same choices will lead to same behaviors, and same behaviors will lead to same experiences, and same experiences will lead to same emotions. So in order to change our life, we have to change all these things, isn't it? So when your body sends signal like that, please understand that this is not an intuition. This is your past condition. These thoughts are not truth. They are your habitual survival programs. So what we need to understand is that discomfort is not a sign that you are doing something wrong. It's a sign that you are no longer the same person as before. Next, Dr. Joe Dispenza is explaining about the biological death of our old self. When we stop thinking the same thoughts, stop reacting emotionally the same way, and stop behaving habitually, the old neural circuits within your brain begins to weaken. This is what is happening. And this feels like confusion, fatigue, emotional release. At this time, understand that you are not failing, you are unlearning the old program or old conditioning. This is what Dr. Joe is referring to as the biological death of the old self. Please understand that something must end for something new to begin, isn't it? So transformation means it's the death of the old personality. And the change involves a real biological process of our means there will be change neurologically, chemically, hormonally, and genetically. There will be change in us. What happens during change is that your old neural paths or neural circuits in your brain weakens. Your old emotional chemistry reduces. Your old hormonal patterns stop firing. Means how you react will change. Your old gene signaling changes. And this process is called the biological death of your old self. So, feeling disoriented or emotional is an evidence of your change or transformation. So, no need to worry about that. This is what he is explaining. The next step is that how to enter the unknown, entering the unknown. The unknown here is not somewhere else. It is not the future. The unknown exists only in the present moment. This is what he is explaining. The unknown exists only in the present moment. When you are no longer defined by the past and not at living in the future, this is the moment of creation, the present moment. He's telling that the present moment is the moment of creation. The unknown is the present moment, and it is free from the past and the future. The unknown which exists in the present moment is the most powerful place of creation. We can create our new future from the present moment. So, when you stop living unconsciously, Means when you stop living in your past programming, you start reclaiming your free will, isn't it? So 95% of that programming will be lost, right? So you are reclaiming your free will, that 5%. When you stop living unconsciously, means in your past programming, that time you step out of the autopilot mode. Then he is explaining about installing new thoughts and mentally rehearsing it. He's explaining that thoughts are the language of the brain, and repeating new thoughts, it becomes new belief within us. So to change your life, you must interrupt the old program and install the new one. And also understand that your brain does not know the difference between a real experience and one vividly imagined experience, or the one which you are visualizing. Your brain cannot distinguish between a real experience and an imagination or a visualization, what you are going to do. So what we are going to do is that we are going to rehearse our new future before life confirms it, or before it come in reality, or before it really appears in your life. So he's explaining that when the thoughts are repeated with attention, it creates new neural circuits in your brain. Over a period of time, this repetition of these new thoughts replaces your old limiting beliefs like, I can't do this. So all these past programming, it will replace. Means new thoughts practiced consistently become the new inner voice. For example, instead of I can't do this, you can also, for example, you can also do that anything is possible. Great things happens to me, like that. Okay. So over a period of time, our new behavior becomes automatic with practice. This is what he is telling. With practice, with repetition, with practice, new behavior become automatic, and happiness, confidence, calm becomes natural for you. And the brain begins to map your desired future, not the past. Our mental rehearsal prepares the brain to act naturally in new ways. He's also explaining how to teach or how to condition our body with the elevated emotion of the future before it happens in our life. See, this is the most critical step what Dr. Joe Dispenza is teaching us through this particular course. Our body believes emotion, not the logic. The old model is that cause will lead to effect. Means that we are waiting for the success to be happy, to feel happy. We are waiting for the healing to feel gratitude. This was the old model, what was used. But Dr. Joe Dispenza is explaining about a new model in this particular part of the workshop. What it is? It is the quantum model, means cause and effect. Cause and effect simultaneously. According to this model, we need to feel abundant in advance to create the wealth, and we need to feel empowered to create success in our life, and we need to feel loved to attract love in our life. We need to feel gratitude to begin healing. So the key teaching here is that the elevated emotion conditions the body into the future. Here, the elevated emotions means you understand that, right? The love, happiness, joy, gratitude, etc. These are the elevated emotions. So that is why the gratitude practice also are so powerful. You might have undergone this gratitude. You may be doing the gratitude practice also, right? So that is why the gratitude practice is so powerful for manifestation of any of our desires. What he says that we need not wait for the success to feel empowered. So we can feel the emotions related to the success, related to the result in advance to manifest it faster. So we need not wait for the success to feel empowered, or we need not wait for the wealth to feel abundant, and we need not wait for the love to feel worthy, and we need not wait for healing to happen to feel whole. So he's saying that this is the old model, that is cause will lead to effect. That is the old model. Instead of that, he's introducing here the new model. What it is, that quantum model, the one which is discussed now. So what he says that we need not wait for the circumstance to change how we feel. I'm repeating it again. This is so important. Okay. So what he says is that we need not wait for the circumstance to appear in our life to change how we feel. We need to first change how we feel and let the life force energy or the universe or the quantum field responds to our feelings. What we say is that our feelings will bring the experience in our life, because our feelings or our emotions are magnetic in nature, and these emotions will attract similar experiences in our life very fast. This is what he is explaining. I'll tell once again. Our feelings will bring the experience in our life because our feelings or our emotions are magnetic in nature, and these feelings will attract similar experiences in our life very fast. So, when the body feels the future in advance, the future arrives faster. This is what he is explaining. Next, he is explaining about the breaking the habit of the old self. So for true change to happen, it requires unlearning or removing our old emotions stored in our body, isn't it? And relearning or introducing the new emotion states. So when we meditate, we become familiar with our old patterns. Awareness developed. So meditation is a must to develop the awareness and to identify that what are our old patterns. So he is also talking about meditation as becoming familiar with. He says that meditation means to become familiar with our old unconscious thoughts, our automatic behaviors, and our habitual emotions. And with meditation, our awareness level improves, and this awareness breaks the unconsciousness. People think they are doing meditation wrong when our old patterns surface. But what Dr. Joe is saying that this is exactly when meditation is working, as if you are lighting a matchstick in a dark place. Means with meditation, we become more aware of our unconscious behaviors, thoughts, and emotions. So when you practice meditation continuously, You don't go unconscious back into that 95% of your programs again. So this is the deconstruction process of our old patterns. For reconstructing the new personality in meditation, what he does is that he asks the participants has to install new thoughts, rehearse new behaviors, mentally see how you are behaving, responding, how your emotions are when you are in your goal, when you reach your goal, or when you manifest your desire. How will you be responding? How will be your behaviors? How will be your emotions? In advance, he wanted us to rehearse that. So by this, we are conditioning our body emotionally into the future. Repeated practice makes the new self familiar and automatic. It will come automatically over practice. So the unknown becomes familiar through repetition. Is also recommending us to replace our old emotions with the new ones whenever you find it arise. Like you have to replace your fear with gratitude, your anger with freedom, your resentment with joy. So, what becomes familiar becomes automatic. You are not becoming someone new. You are remembering who you were before the past conditioning. This is what we are doing through this process. So, the formula given by Dr. Joe Dispenza for change or for transformation is clear intention plus elevated emotion. Transformation happens faster, or manifestation happens faster when you have a clear intention, means a clear vision of who you want to be, how you want that your future to be, like that. And elevated emotion, gratitude, joy, love, inspiration, all these are elevated emotion. As if you attain the goal and feeling the gratitude, joy, love towards the goal, your new reality. So together, they condition your brain and body into a new future. So the formula here, what he is explaining is that we should have a clear intention, and simultaneously we should have the elevated emotion. Combined with the elevated emotion, clear intention combined with the elevated emotion will lead to the manifestation. Okay. Dr. Ju is also explaining that if we can do this every single day, different miracles starts to appear in your life. You will see lots of opportunities, lots of synchronicities around you. He is also confirming that if we can maintain the new state independent of the condition, means independent of the external environment, if you can maintain your new thoughts, new behaviors, new emotions associated with your dream life or dream future, independent of the current environment, time, or body craving, whatever it is, that synchronicities appears in your life, opportunities arise in your life. Life begins to change externally in your reality. So he's also giving a final message in this part that we are all wired to be the creator, isn't it? He's telling that we are all the creator of our life. We have done this before, means we have done this every time we felt inspired by a future possibility. So, change requires practice, not perfection. So, change your mind and change your life. This is the message for this chapter. And the core essence of this lesson is that change does not require suffering. The discomfort which we experience through these practices means you are entering the unknown. And the unknown is the birthplace of new possibilities and creation. The main principle is become the future emotionally before it happens to you in the reality. And repetition makes the new self familiar to you. And the awareness is the gateway to freedom. Elevated emotions create future reality. And when you change your mind, you change your life. So, in essence, if you see, entering the unknown means, so in essence, entering the unknown means consciously releasing the familiar past, conditioning the mind and body into a new emotional and neurological future, and becoming someone new before life confirms it. So that's it for the part 3. Thank you, guys.